Hey everyone, thanks Gaze for joining me today. We are discussing a few questions, and I felt this is a great opportunity to record the answer because others may find it valuable. So the first question is, if you're ranking fifth and you're trying to improve your rankings to be higher, like first, second, or third, for example. So I have a few comments on this. Obviously, we're discussing rankings because Google is still the main source of traffic to websites. Okay, here's the thing. The first thing you want to look into is creating your own custom click curve. And the way you can do this, you can use a Python code. ChatGPT can help you. I have a lesson in my course about this. But the point is, right now we're all relying on data like AWR, CTR study, which is great, by the way. But it's also a good idea to look at your own CTR curve, which what does that tell you? It tells you, hey, when your website is ranking first, on average, this is how much clicks you get. When you're second, this is how much clicks you get, and so on. So if you're ranking fifth and you want to improve your rankings, you want to double check that, hey, this is going to be worth it. The difference is going to be huge enough because let's say you're getting 5% CTR on fifth and then first is getting 6.5%, for example. That may not be worth it, especially if the keyword is it doesn't have a lot of search volume, right? So you want to make sure that putting effort and investing time and work in this and budget potentially if you're going to go for backlinks and PR campaigns and stuff like that. So you want to make sure that it's worth actually doing all of this work. The best way is to go for a custom CTR curve. Do you have any questions before I continue on the custom on
For the
the
CTR, no, it's clear and it's fair enough. Obviously, because we need to like get the data to know what to optimize for, and as you said, if it's worth it or not, and if it's also like the keyword is commercial or informational, and if it's like an e-commerce website or an informative website. So all these things
if
do
you're
matter.
and let's say even if the CTR is going to change a lot, but the keywords, the search volume is not that much. Like you can get buy-in to the concept of, hey, we don't need to invest more work here by saying this keyword is getting that amount of clicks or search volume, and then try show the difference in actual number of clicks. Like if you improve from 1K clicks to 1100, maybe that's not worth your time, right? So you want to quantify that, just get a sense of how much is it worth. Because I mean, moving on the top to the top is, and you're already fifth, for example, is a lot of work. It's like it's easier to move from second page to first page than move from the bottom of first page upwards, right? Another thing when you're doing a competitor analysis, there are two things. You want to look at on-page elements, and I don't just mean like the meta description. Sorry, not meta description, meta title or H1 tags and that sort of thing. You want to look at everything on that page, everything, the length of the content. I'm not saying word count is a ranking factor, but it gives you an idea of how deep they have covered this topic. What everything that's on this page, entities, do they have schema? Do they have videos? If they have videos, you also want to embed a video on your page, because what you want to do is you want to up your competitor on every single element they have on their page. Let's say your page is perfect, everything you've done everything. I doubt you'll not see improvement, but let's go worst case scenario, you've upped your competitor on every single on page element. Your next thing would be look at site-wide signals, right? Because site-wide, what makes their website in general better? Do they have more backlinks? Do they have more like authority on the topic? Did they cover areas you did, and so on? And this is where you feel like you're diving into the ocean, because site-wide, it's way more a lot of generic stuff versus when you're focusing on one specific page. So you'll need to like try to narrow things down, but it's not that simple. But I mean, I would go in that order: page level and then site-wide. You had another question about LLMs and how to appear in LLMs and that sort of thing.
Yeah. So, but before we dive into the LLMs, what about, let's say, e-commerce websites? Because e-commerce websites differ from informative
Yeah.
websites. Informative websites, they do have much content there, but e-commerce websites, they that just have like, maybe some websites have a bit of text on the top or on the bottom, and they have like also products. So how can someone, audit this type? And especially like, for example, if they rank on first page of Google, regardless of the rank, let's say 10, 9, 8, or 7, doesn't matter, and they want to, reach to the top 3, what are the elements site-wide and, on page perspective to, see this improvement? And
I would look at the competitors' experience on the page, right? So is it easier for people to click? Is there how many CTRs are there on the page? Are my CTRs above the fold, and where the competitors put their CTR? What is the so let's say it's a product category. Are they using, again, structured data there? Are they using the product titles? Are they obviously? I'm assuming they're going to be optimized. Are they in H2 or like? I'll dig into as much details as possible. Um, I had a client one time that was very interesting. So they were not an e-commerce. They were a car rental, right? And they were ranking high. However, their competitors were getting featured images and they weren't, right? And this is where you have to dig into the details. Why are they getting featured images and not? And it was as simple as, hey, the arrangement of the products on the page, they start with more reasonable priced products, cars, versus you're starting with very high end cars. And obviously that may turn people off, right? If you land on a page and you want to rent a car, on average, people are more likely to pay $100 or $200 a day than they're likely to pay $500, for example, for, I don't know, whatever, right? So things can go, like, try to look at the user experience and what happens on the page and why users may like this page over yours. What is it that you're missing out? And I also always love to look at Hotjar or Lucky Orange or even Microsoft Clarity. So Microsoft Clarity is free. Hotjar gives you free 2,000 videos to my recollection. So what happens is you embed this code and you get to see recordings of actual user behavior on the page, right? So what happens there is you can analyze how your users are acting on the page. Are they scrolling at all? And where they're scrolling, where they're pausing. You'll see the mouse movement and where they're clicking, and that will give you an understanding of things. I remember there was an experiment by Erica. Her name is Erica. A very, very nice one. So she basically looked at how people behave on the page, and she noticed they all focus on a specific part of the text. Let's say a product for you for an e-commerce. She just moved it above, and her rankings improved actually, right? So prioritizing what your users want from the page is definitely a big thing you can do. So I would look as deep as that. If the page is important, if it's a money page, it's worth investing time into fixing that. And it's not just going to help your SEO, it can also help your conversion rate. Because if you're getting people, like you invested all the effort and you're getting people to finally land on your page, why are they not converting? Like, why are you, it's like you're carrying stuff in what is it called? A strainer, like trying to carry water in a strainer, right? It doesn't make sense. So you want to make sure that you capture as much conversions as you can. So that's on-page elements. Site-wide, I would start looking at. So you can look at backlinks to the page as part of your page analysis, but then you can also look at when we talk about site-wide, you can look at backlinks to the domain itself. You can look at how many supporting pages or pages related to this topic on their website. So let's say you're selling, let's say you're selling a mouse, right? Selling computer mouses. Okay, are they covering, for example, I don't know, any questions about mouse blogs? How much they're covering that you're not? How much content they have against you? Sometimes it's the size of the website, right? I've seen, by the way, I've seen websites outrank Amazon. It can happen, right? But you need to have the right user experience. You need to have the right arrangement of products on the page, and you need to have you want to outrank your competitors on every element you can. It's never
Do you
going to be
think?
perfect, but
Yeah.
best effort, right?
Yeah. Do you think that backlinks are still valid in 2025 with all
Yes,
the?
yes, of course, of course. Just to be clear, I don't offer any backlinking services. My work with backlinks stop at the strategy level, and I do think they're valuable. I do think they're important. Obviously, depends on the domain. So if you have a very established big brand, it doesn't like there's no point in recommending backlinks. We had a client that we decided not to recommend backlinks for because it wasn't just worth it. So things can happen like this, but in general, yes, they are. And they actually can help you rank in, or not rank, get more visibility in LLMs. So here's the thing. Brand mentions in general, and obviously any links pointing to your website with the right text, specifically right anchor text, can help your visibility in LLMs. um, if you so two things I've noticed help you get better visibility in LLMs: getting cited in listicles. So you want to go into a chat GPT and let's say type top computer mouse in 2025 and see where is it pulling its data from. Go to Perplexity, go to Gemini, and see what you can do to appear on those. Is it, can you reach out, can like, second, you can create your own listicles. Let's say you're selling mouse, and hey, how I cannot have a blog about top 20 top mouse and 20 and list by competitors. Okay, but you can say top computer gadgets 2025, for example. Go wider, and then you can list products that you're not competing with. So and then you can also another thing, comparisons. And then you have comparisons, you have listicles, and I really think you should try LinkedIn Pulse. It can help you if you add quality content there, you can actually rank,
Yeah.
right? And get cited in AI overviews. And then last but not least, try to have a Reddit strategy. And I'm not saying you should try to spam or manipulate the platform, but you need to have some type of a strategy. Have a brand account, have a brand subreddit, depending obviously on the type of brand you are. Um, if you're selling computer gadgets, maybe you want to start a small community there, post good questions and answer them, and people will start finding you through search and maybe joining your subreddit and maybe commenting, seeing what are the most popular subreddits, what are the most popular questions there, learn from that, even try to replicate it on your own subreddit. So yeah, that these are the things I think you should be doing if you want to get visibility in LLMs. Oh, and depending on your brand, if your brand has YouTube assets, leverage this. Uh, AI overviews, Perplexity. I've noticed they cite regularly YouTube videos, and AI overviews specifically, one of the top cited domains is YouTube, like almost 25%, right? So if you have YouTube videos, try to optimize the description, the tagging. If you have like whatever you can do there, and if you want to also embed them on your content, some people have YouTube videos, but they don't embed them on their website for some reason. So look at this as well.
And so, okay, so when it comes to the product descriptions, okay, let's say we're selling mouses, right? And we have a specific brand. So, what needs to be there on the product for it to first rank on Google and to be cited by LLMs? So, I know, like, yes, we know about like the schema markups that we put there, but my question specifically is the content that can be put there. So yes, we can put a description, we can name the images, but I feel still after all adding all these elements, I feel like yes, the LLMs are not really citing our products well.
So, okay, one thing I haven't explored, but I think you should, is how ChatGPT is collaborating with Shopify. If you're on Shopify, there's some sort of thing going on there. I highly recommend you look into it. I didn't have the chance because I don't have any e-commerce clients at hand right now, but that's something I will definitely look into once I have an e-commerce client. The second thing is, I would say, you want okay. Try to talk to your dev team, get server log files, and you want to see, hey, where does ChatGPT go when they visit my website? You want to see the ChatGPT bot and other LLMs, which pages are important, and how often do they access those pages? And this is where you want to put valuable information you want to be visible in LLMs, right? So analyzing also the pages that AI bots are accessing on a regular basis.
Yeah, that's that's really important. Like the log files and to see how ChatGPT is basically crawling and how they're accessing the website. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
very important.
Yeah.
Interesting. So also, for example, like so we spoke about content. So yes, okay, we've added all the content on the products and stuff. What about the blogs? So some websites have blogs on a subdomain, and other websites have blogs on their main site.
Okay.
So is this something that matters now?
Yes.
Like, is it really, you know, is it really like the best practice to have your blog on the website so it can you can internal link with the
Yeah.
pages and
Okay.
stuff like this?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Google treats subdomains as if they're separate websites, right? So whatever authority you're gaining on your subdomain, it's not necessarily passed on to your domain. So I recommend you have your blog on your main domain, right? Let's say you can't. It can happen. Whatever technical reasons or dev teams say, I've seen, we don't know like the technical complexities fully like devs. So let's say you get pushed back on this. Your second option is to, now you're going to optimize two domains, but you want to make sure you're linking a lot from your subdomain to the website, to the most important pages, to the home page a lot. And you want to declare in the footer of both websites that they are related, like, hey, somehow. I mean, it's clear because it's subdomain, but you also want to do that because you don't want to come off as like spammy or anything. I like to have this level of transparency. So, yeah, would do that. But this is not ideal. Like, I would prefer if you have your blog on your domain. Like, try to push for this. I mean, what is just to give an example, this is like saying I'm going to start a new blog for our company on a third new domain. I'm going to buy a new domain and start from scratch. This is equivalent to that. Like, this is a totally different thing, two different entities. Yes, you can leverage that to your main website, but it's not the same as if you have it on your blog.
Okay. And what about so this is for Google, and what about like the LLMs? How do they
Oh, that's a tricky
cite the
one. I wish I have a clear question. Answer. I don't. Like, I can guess uh, based on how I understand LLMs work, but I wish I know, but um, so here's what I can say. I think it's gonna be still treated as two websites uh, on LLMs. I think so, but I may be totally off. Like, I don't have knowledge of like or testing or enough information on this to give you a good answer.
because like how I think about it is that, so yes, it's on a subdomain and we have our like main domain. So if the LLMs want to crawl the subdomain, they would still find the main like the main brand name that we are basically like working on. So are they like maybe smart enough, or they would be able to grab this, that yes, this is this they have like two, so these sites have two domains, one subdomain and the other is their main domain, and one is like a blog section and the other is like basically their website.
I want to give you an answer, but I genuinely not sure. Like, I can guess. That's the
Yeah.
but something to understand that LLMs themselves. is one thing, and the crawler that goes and gets them the data and passes it to them is another. Like, it's two things, right? So I don't have an answer for this, unfortunately. I wish I did, but I don't.
Mm. That's like that's for us to discover in the future and see.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and that's what
to-
I say. There's a lot of unknowns for us. There's a lot for us to learn and to grow. I'm still learning. I invest a lot of time every day in reading and learning about SEO. But I get again at the end of the day, there's so much to learn, and you need to focus on, like, for you, you're going to focus on e-commerce, for example. For me right now, I'm focused on news SEO because I work at a publisher, right? I can't cover all the ground. I try, but I can't. So there's so much to learn, and you want to focus on this, and you want to have some time every day, like, and one thing I found very helpful is for you to have an observant eye normally. Like, you would search. Obviously, all of us are searching everywhere, right? You're searching on Google, you're searching on YouTube, you're using LLMs, and you're looking for something, whatever you're looking for, like, hey, how can I buy best, I don't know, cup or whatever. Uh, like, it doesn't have to be, hey, an intentional SEO session where you're trying to figure things out. You can learn by just what you do, right? Through what you're doing. So, for example, the other day I was looking for crochet pattern on Google, and hey, it's like, hey, go search for it somewhere else. I'm like, what? And actually, I came on another incident, actually recent. I'm very surprised. And I don't know what that is, what's happening, but observing things as you go is also going to help you, because I know a lot of people are busy. A lot of people don't have enough time to dedicate, right? And we have a lot on our plates at work as well. So the best thing you can do is, as you go, notice how things are working, right?
Yeah, so what from my side, what I noticed is that when I search for, let's say, for a product, let's say for a gym bag under, let's say, $100, uh, they obviously they give me the products that they recommend, and they also put the reviews, and the actual reviews they put them on the results. So when I click on a product and I would like want to find more, they do put this these reviews. So this is interesting as well. Like, we should really focus on having 5-star reviews, or like good reviews that speak
Yes.
about the product.
Yes, totally. Of course. This is a good observation, for example, right? As you search for things, and then also you said gym bags under $100, right? Or under, I'm assuming you're in Dubai, right? Under 100
Yeah,
AED, right? Right.
yeah,
So yeah, so what you can do is, how can you embed this keyword on your website if that's a similar keyword for your
yeah.
products, right? Look for your products under, okay, let's go back to our cup or our mouse example. Let's say, because I have a cup here, so and a mouse, of course, and I have a lot of things. I have cookies. Okay, okay. Let's say toy. Okay, I have a Riddler. It's a
Yeah,
Riddler. So toys under, let's be realistic. Toys under $100 Canadian, right? If, let's say I'm
yeah.
selling toys, so toys under $100 Canadian, and I search for this. I see what's happening on search and say, okay, how can I make my product visible there? Where did I embed that I'm hundred less than hundred? Like, these are the top toys I sell that are less than $100, right? So all of these are things you can observe while you're searching without necessarily sit down and say, hey, this is what I'm doing today, right?
What I ask myself, so let's say this product is, let's say, $90. Yeah, will the LLM know about it, or put it in the list of products, or we need to write, let's say, a comparison or a guide or a blog post that would explain that, yes, this is the product, these are the products that we have under $100, and
Just
basically.
because, okay, okay, just because your product exists, LLMs can know about it, but that's not the problem. Oh, and that's a very good thing. I had a webinar yesterday and I mentioned this. So what matters is the probability of your brand or your product getting cited. It's not, yes, what if they came across a page about your product? That's not enough to increase the probability of your brand getting visibility in. So, okay, here's what you can do. Go to ChatGPT. Again, let's go to our toys. I don't know, characters or whatever, figures, and say, create 10 different prompts about your product, okay? And then run them there, run them on Gemini, run them on Perplexity, and count how many numbers out of 10 are you getting mentioned. Okay, this is a simple example. Let's say you get 2 out of 10. So that is your probability of getting mentioned. That's not good enough. So you want to work on increasing that, because obviously the answers are not going to be the same every time for you and for others as well. So you want to increase the probability of your brand getting cited. And okay, so you 20%. Hey, how can I, or let's say 10%. How can I increase this to 30 or 40%? Look at the brands that are getting cited more and see what they're doing, right? Because those brands getting cited more may not necessarily be your search competitors. So, are they getting more mentioned on Reddit? Are they getting? Do they have a strong YouTube channel? Like, see what they're doing. What is the main cause of this, and what can you do? Because you may not be able to do everything, but what can you do out of this, right? So, LLM knows about your product is not enough for them to, like, you want to be mentioned. The more often they come across your name and your product, the more likely you get to be mentioned. So, and the metric here is not ranking, it's your likeliness or how likely you are to get mentioned, right?
Hmm. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, that's also very important. Interesting. Back to our like ranking, let's say number one on Google. We spoke about we didn't speak about the meta descriptions and titles and H1 tags and stuff.
I read
Uh,
something, since I'm trying to read as much as I came across, and one of the things I saw was, I did not verify this claim, but meta descriptions are not used by Google to show you to be shown in search, but they can be used as a quality metric of your website. I don't have any confirmation or data to support this. I just saw this and I was like, this is something I want to dig into, but just wanted to bring this up to your attention. Maybe you want to dig into as well.
well, what I see is that when someone types a query, Google customized the meta description according to their preference, and I feel sometimes it's related to the search history, to the cookies, and like many other aspects, because we've tested it on the same internet, same location, same everything, and each one of us got like a different meta description, and sometimes also ranks, because sometimes we search on incognito, and sometimes we search on like the usual browser, and the results vary. So this is because also, like, if you're working for a client or you have a manager that is also opening and checking the keywords, they might ask you this question: why you're sending me the rank, for example, it's rank 3, and I'm opening and I'm seeing like rank 5 or 6. So yeah, this is something that is also, maybe Google is being Google and we can't really.
Ranking is personalized in a way, and there's a lot of reasons people may get, and that's why in Search Console you have average ranking per keyword, right? So
Yeah.
it can be different. I mean, you want to be on the first page, you want to get the best CTR you can, and this goes back to the first part of our conversation. Start with a custom click curve.
Hmm. And speaking about Google Search Console, after the update that Google introduced in September 12th, almost, yeah, it's looking at it is a disaster, but like eventually, it doesn't look like we've lost traffic, but impressions are like plummeted in a
I mean,
very like.
That's a good
dangerous.
discussion. That's a very good discussion. So, and I actually discussed this yesterday in the webinar. So funny. I mean, it's the topic of the moment, right? So it's normal
Of
that
SEOs,
yeah.
yeah.
All right. Like there's always those waves where everyone's talking about one thing, and then we move on collectively, right? Anyway, so
It's a
we
trending topic, yeah, obviously, and we're all like in pain at some point, like we
once
need to
when
explain this to our managers, to our clients, to.
and the misinformation circulating. So once the webinar goes live, like they post it publicly, I'm going to share it. So keep an eye on my LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yesterday we touched on this. So there was, remember the alligator when the alligator trend, and everyone was like, hey, impressions are increasing. And collectively as an industry, we attributed this to AI overviews and Google is lying. And that made sense at that point. That's what we thought, right? But once they removed the nomical 100 parameter and we seeing the impressions go down, I saw one single guy in the entire industry raise this, and he's like, you know what? This increase in impressions was not because AI overviews. It may have been a contributing factor, but there actually is more to this. It's actually probably because AI bots are crawling the website, search using Google search even more. And that's why Google decided now to take action, right? So the impressions were just bot traffic, and they were amplifying. You're looking at impressions. Hey, there's 1,000 impressions. Why am I getting only 10 clicks, right? So the impressions were just bot. They were not actual users. So in a way, that's better for us. Now we have a better, you know, dashboard or better reporting on actual impressions. Um, yeah, and I also learned to always ask 5 6 questions, and not I mean, I'd like to do that, but it wasn't just me. Like, we collectively missed the point here, or yeah.
Mm. And interestingly enough, I saw on one of the websites the clicks. So when we compared month over month on Google Search Console, we
Okay, can
had
you
an
give me a
increase.
second? I have something in the oven. I'm sorry. Give me one
Yeah, yeah,
second.
sure, sure, of course, of course.
Yes, I'm back.
Yes. So I was saying that I looked at one of the websites, Google Search Console and Google Analytics. So on Google Search Console, I saw that there's an increase in clicks. Obviously, the impressions were declining, and so there were like almost 4% increase in clicks and 6% increase in impressions. When I compared the same period on sessions on GA4, I found there's a decrease by 10% of the sessions. So this is a very interesting
Can you
observation.
compare? Okay, can you compare the sessions on G4 for that time period with the same time last year to incorporate
Yes, it
seasonality
was.
as well, right?
Yes, it was also down by 20%.
Then there's a seasonality factor in there, right? So what probably happened is there's no change.
But I mean, like the
But you said
data
4%
between.
increase in clicks. Actually, there is. It's like, so there's 4% increase in clicks, and year over year you had like, so this year you're down 20% compared to last year.
No, last
Okay,
year
then
that website
actually,
was down by
okay,
20%.
the math is the math is actually mathing in this situation, because you have an increase in clicks, so your sessions increased compared to last year, so that makes sense. Impressions increased, it can be increase in demand. Look, we want to learn from the mistake of, we want to learn from that mistake. So yes, it can be num equal 100, can be AI over, and so many things are going on, right? AI bots, I mean, but it can also be just seasonality. So maybe you want to check GA4 and look at that. Like, we don't want to be stuck in analysis paralysis, but we don't also want to take the first
But
answer.
I've never seen, like, not ever, but like it's unlikely for me to go to a website and find a big uh, a big difference between the clicks and the sessions on GA4. So my only question was, like, I saw like on the bar that like there was where like Google identified spam traffic, so probably they just didn't really record this while Google Search Console recorded the data. That's why they have an increase in clicks or something like this. But my question is, like, is it because of the update that Google released, or no, it's because of how maybe the filters that they have on GA4 while
You're filtering the traffic on GA4 to organic, right? Just double checking.
yeah, of course, organic search.
Okay. Interesting. I mean, if it detected spammy traffic and it removed it, that makes sense, but I'm not sure how that was counted in in Google Search Console. Like, bot clicks and then they were filtered out in GA4, maybe.
Hmm. So yeah, like
And I don't mean LLM bots, by the way. There are spammy bots that just click results and stuff like that. And some people use them as a manipulative tactic actually to improve your ranking, because improving CTR improves your ranking. And that's something you may want to test, like play around with the title structure. I think we touched about on this like last time we met. Um, so you want to maybe run some CTR, but tests. But I know that AB, like, I know that if there is, just to separate things, there A/B test title tags. That's one thing to get better CTR. So that's one thing. But I also know that there is a tactic. I've never used it. That people have like some sort of a spammy bot that keeps clicking on your result, like search and click and search and click, because that manipulates Google to improve your ranking. And maybe that's what happened, but I'm assuming that's not something you did. So maybe there was some spam bot doing something, but it's not, what I'm trying to say, this is not an LLM bot to my understanding.
and also, it's not related to Google introducing this 100 parameter update.
I don't think the 100 parameter should impact your clicks. I think it should impact only impressions, because what happens is tools request the 100 pages and then they tackle them, not necessarily. I don't see it impacting. Uh, no, I don't see that related to clicks. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, like honestly, I did some analysis, but I didn't get my answer yet. So it's interesting to see.
If you want to share that when you're done, that would be great.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I wanted to check, yeah, like the previous year, what filters do they have? Are they recording the traffic from uh, all the countries versus on Google, like they have filter for some countries, maybe just the region, and they disregard, let's say, other countries. So yeah, many questions to answer this. But you said, like, not like analysis and paralysis. So at some point you end up analyzing, like, a lot,
Here,
spending a lot of time, but
you
sometimes
want to,
you
okay,
just
it's tricky. You want to do enough work, but you don't want to do too much work looking into something, because there's like, you can keep looking forever, right? Like, there's always more data and always more things to look into. So you want to look enough, but not forever, right? You want to find that balance. Uh, It's just hard, right? I guess that's what makes SEO fun.
I mean, it's fun. Yeah, it's sometimes I find it fun. Other times I want to change my career.
I have to go in 5 minutes, so do you have any questions, anything else you want to touch on?
No, I don't have any questions, but so I always wanted to have a checklist on the on-page element and the site-wide uh, things.
You know
So I'm
what?
probably
If I have an idea, if you brainstorm one and share it with me, we can try to like crowdsource this. I can put my input and I can ask others as well. Like we can try to crowdsource this and see if we can come up with something. I think this can be a cool project. If you want to work on it and I can contribute, I don't want to like lead it. I want to support it, but I really have a lot on my plate. Like I literally no words. I don't have words. And then because I have so much free time, I bought this book. I don't know why I do this always.
wow,
I
wow,
don't know. Like yeah,
that's a lot of
and
words.
oh, I don't know what I was I thinking, like literally. But yeah. So yeah.
Yes, this is what I wanted to tell you because I really want to put my thoughts and my knowledge and everything on really papers and Excel sheets so I can refer back to and of course get your expert opinion and other experts
You
in the
know
field.
what? We have our monthly Slack meetup on Tuesday. If you want to join, and others always raise very good points, and we can discuss that if you're interested. I mean, the meeting is for generic questions. Anyone who has a question, and yeah, I think I'll try. So, we've always been on. Let me check where we're at this time.
Just yeah, please invite me or just
Okay.
let me
Yeah, I'll share the link.
subscribe to it.
Yes. Okay. It's October. Okay, it's at October 21st. Actually, you could copy link here. Okay.
Just send it.
Yeah, try to join. It's usually fun. Check something. Uh, yeah, I mean, you know what? It's also gonna be recorded, which is cool because a lot of people have been asking me to record it. The reason we didn't, we were on Google Meets and we're using the free version, but I have a free version on Zoom. So I moved the meeting on Zoom. So this coming one is going to be recorded as well. So others who did not attend get to see it.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That also, of course, everything recorded would be, we can go back to them and check the data or check what we spoke about. Yeah, and as I told you, I would love to basically work on a checklist and share it with you, and we can also like collectively because ranking factors are changing and everything is changing. So it's good to have something in hand so we can modify or change or something like this. Yeah. Okay. So we have one
Perfect.
minute left. Okay.
Okay. Thanks so much, guys, for this. And thanks for
Thank
reaching
you.
out. I'm always happy to help. If you want to work on that checklist, then reach out. And as
Yeah.
I said, you can join our monthly meetup. No pressure, of course, if it works for you. I enjoy them honestly. It's an opportunity to network and see what other people are saying, and a lot of people bring their unique experiences. And there are a lot of people that come, by the way, and they have e-commerce, like they're working currently on e-commerce.
Mm.
Um,
By the way, I find a lot of content on informative websites, but I don't find content on specifically e-commerce and like big e-commerce, corporate e-commerce websites. So at least maybe for me,
enterprise level websites are different. I agree. In whether they're content or e-commerce, yeah,
yeah,
different, yeah.
the different honestly different skill level and different
You
approach
know who
in
has a
SEO.
good? If you want to check out Christina's ebooks, she has an ebook on e-commerce and it was good. I'm not sure. I mean, it depends on your level. You might find them basic or advanced, depending on where you are in SEO. But just have a look and see. But I think it's interesting. So
That's also
yeah,
very
yeah,
interesting to
I
check.
got it a while ago, and it's really interesting.
Cool. Yeah. Inshallah, I would try to join the monthly. It would be 11 a.m., so it depends if I have a meeting at work or not. So I'll see what I can do.
8 a.m.
And
for me. It used to be on Saturday. I moved it to Tuesday because I feel a lot of people don't want to meet up on the weekend, and I was like, okay, that makes sense. I don't enjoy meeting up on weekends because I have things to do, and then you have to rearrange your day around this, and you have your kids, and you it's like
yeah.
sitting and waiting for you. So that's not a good idea. So I think I will. It's on Tuesday right now, 8 a.m.
Okay, okay. For me, it's gonna be 11. All right, okay. So yeah, I'll send you the like. I'm really serious about the checklist. I'll just send it to you as soon as possible, and we can discuss it from there.
Perfect. Thanks, guys, and have a good one.
Thank you, Sarah. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.